The archive vault smelled like regret and old metal. Commander Vex stood before the memorial wall, 3 of his 4 hands trembling. He had served the Galactic Council for 200 cycles, witnessed 17 wars, survived the plague of Andromeda, and never once felt fear like this. But today was different. Sir, you need to see this. Lieutenant Cora's voice cracked through the communicator. She was young, barely 60 cycles old, and her purple skin had gone pale. The translation is complete. Vex turned from the wall, where 10,000 species had carved their final messages before extinction. Some were warnings, others were prayers. A few were just screams frozen in stone. But one message appeared exactly 43 times. "Show me," he said. The hologram flickered to life, displaying text in a language so ancient that their best computers had needed 3 years to crack it. Cora read aloud, her voice shaking. "They sleep, but do not trust the silence. Earth remembers. Earth waits. We woke them once. Never again." Vex felt his stomach drop. "Which species wrote this?" "That is the problem, sir." Cora pulled up another screen. "The Velcorn wrote it 5 million years ago. The Thresh wrote it 3 million years back. The Kintari, the Havex, the Bryn Collective, all of them. 43 different species, spanning 7 million years of galactic history, and they all left the same warning. About Earth. About Earth." Vex laughed. He could not help it. The sound came out harsh and broken. "Earth? That backward little planet in the Orion Spur? The one with the primitive apes who just discovered nuclear fission?" "Yes, sir. The species that still kills each other over invisible lines on maps." "The very same, sir." Vex stopped laughing. The archive suddenly felt very cold. "There must be a mistake. Run the translation again." "We did, sir. 17 times. The message is clear. Every dead civilization in this vault encountered Earth, and every single one of them is now extinct." Vex walked to the viewing port. Beyond the transparent aluminum, space stretched infinite and dark. Somewhere out there, 40,000 light-years away, was a small blue planet orbiting an unremarkable yellow star. He pulled up the current survey data. Earth. Population, 8 billion. Technology level, primitive. Military capability, laughable. They had barely left their own moon. "This makes no sense," he muttered. Cora stepped beside him. "Sir, there is more. We found ship logs. The Velcorn sent a diplomatic fleet to Earth. 12 dreadnoughts. They wanted to establish trade, share technology, bring Earth into their empire. And the entire fleet vanished. No distress calls. No debris. Just gone. The Velcorn Empire collapsed within a century. Their final transmission blamed Earth." Vex felt something cold crawl down his spine. "What about the others?" "The Thresh tried to conquer Earth. They landed an invasion force of 10 million soldiers. 6 months later, every Thresh colony in the galaxy went dark. The species died out in less than a generation. Impossible. The Kintari avoided Earth completely. They marked it as forbidden space, established a blockade, and anyone who went near it was executed. They lasted another 1,000,000 years before something wiped them out. Their last message said, 'Earth knows. Earth is coming.'" Vex turned sharply. "Are you telling me that a planet of hairless monkeys destroyed 43 advanced civilizations?" "I am telling you that 43 advanced civilizations encountered Earth and then ceased to exist, sir. The correlation is undeniable." "Correlation is not causation, Lieutenant." "Then explain the pattern, sir. Explain why every species that found Earth is now dust." Vex had no answer. He stared at the memorial wall, at the carved symbols that had survived longer than the civilizations that made them. His eyes found one message, written in the flowing script of the Havex. "We thought them weak. We thought them prey. We were fools. They do not fight like us. They do not think like us. They smile, and they trade, and they learn. And then one day you realize you have already lost. Earth does not conquer. Earth infects. Lieutenant, when did we make first contact with Earth?" Cora checked her datapad. "Officially? Never. But unauthorized traders have been visiting for the last 50 cycles. Selling them trinkets, buying their art, sampling their culture." "Sampling their culture," Vex repeated slowly. "What have they learned from us?" "Nothing significant. We gave them nothing advanced. Just basic physics, some medical technology, agricultural techniques." "And what did we take from them?" Cora frowned. "Stories, mostly. Music. Films. Their entertainment is quite popular in the outer colonies. What? Vex felt his blood turn to ice. Pull up the current census data. How many species in the council? 347, sir. How many of those species consume human entertainment? Cora typed quickly. Her face went white. All of them, sir. Every single one. The archive vault suddenly felt very small. Outside the window, stars burned cold and distant. Somewhere among them, Earth spun quietly through the void, a blue marble wrapped in clouds, looking perfectly harmless, perfectly innocent, perfectly asleep. Vex thought about the warnings, about 43 dead civilizations, about the fact that human music now played in every council station. Human films dominated the entertainment networks. Human ideas spread through galactic culture like water through cracks in stone. Lieutenant, find out everything we have ever taken from Earth. Every song, every story, every piece of data. I want it all cataloged and analyzed. Sir, that will take months. Then start now. Cora saluted and left. Vex remained at the window, staring at the stars, wondering which one was Sol, wondering if it was already too late. 3 months later, Vex wished he had never opened that vault. The analysis came back, and it was worse than he imagined. Far worse. Explain it to me again, he said, rubbing his temples with 2 hands while the other 2 gripped the edge of his desk. Slowly this time, Dr. Finn, the council's lead xenoanthropologist, pulled up a chart that made Vex's headache worse. The Archon was tall, insectoid, and entirely too calm for someone delivering apocalyptic news. Human stories follow patterns. Every culture has myths, yes, but humans have something unique. They call them tropes. Repeating narrative structures that encode behavior, strategy, psychology. Finn tapped the screen. We thought it was just entertainment. We were wrong. Wrong how? Every species that consumed human content experienced the same progression. First, cultural shift. Their youth started questioning authority, demanding individual rights, celebrating rebellion. Second, economic disruption. Human concepts of free markets and competition destabilized planned economies. Third, military doctrine changed. Species abandoned traditional tactics and adopted human strategies. Vex leaned forward. What kind of strategies? Asymmetric warfare, guerrilla tactics, psychological operations. Humans do not fight fair, Commander. They fight to win. And now every species in the Council has spent 50 cycles watching human war films, reading human military history, absorbing human philosophy. So what? We learn their tactics. That makes us stronger. Finn's compound eyes glittered. Does it? The Velcorn thought the same thing. They studied Earth for decades before making contact. They learned human languages, human customs, human warfare. They thought understanding humans would give them advantage. And then they met actual humans. Turns out, knowing how humans think and actually dealing with them are very different things. Humans do not just have strategies, Commander. They have creativity, adaptability. They see patterns we miss, make connections we cannot fathom, and they improvise in ways our most advanced computers cannot predict. Vex felt sick. The other species, the ones that went extinct, they all made the same mistake. Worse, they became dependent. The Thresh incorporated human technology into their infrastructure. When Earth cut off contact, their entire civilization collapsed within months. The Kintari isolated themselves, but their populace had already been exposed. Civil wars erupted. Reformists against traditionalists. They tore themselves apart. And the ones who tried to destroy Earth? Finn went quiet. After a long pause, he spoke. There were 6 species who attempted preemptive strikes. Full military assaults. Planet-killer weapons. Extinction-level attacks. What happened? Earth survived. Every single time. Sometimes they hid. Sometimes they scattered. Sometimes they fought back. But they survived, Commander. They always survive. And then, years later, sometimes centuries later, those species just stopped existing. No wars. No plagues. They simply faded away, replaced by younger species, hungrier species, species that had learned from their mistakes. Vex stood up, pacing. You are telling me that humans are what? Some kind of galactic poison? A mimetic weapon? I am telling you that humans are survivors. They have been killing each other for 10,000 years and still thrive. They have survived ice ages, volcanic winters, pandemics that killed half their population. They have no natural predators, no hive mind, no psychic abilities, and yet they conquered their entire planet. How? How? Because they adapt. They learn. They never give up. And more terrifying, they make you think like them. Once you start consuming their culture, you cannot stop. It changes you. Makes you question things you never questioned before. Makes you want things you never wanted. Freedom. Choice. Individual destiny. Vex thought about his own datapad, loaded with human music he listened to during meditation. He thought about the human comedy shows his crew watched in the recreation deck. He thought about the human phrase that had become popular across the fleet. Never give up. We need to quarantine Earth immediately, he said. Full lockdown. No trade. No contact. No communication. Too late, sir. Finn pulled up another screen. Human content is everywhere. It has spread to 400 systems. Even if we shut down Earth tomorrow, the ideas are already out there. You cannot kill an idea, Commander. Then what do we do? Finn looked at him with those alien eyes, and for the first time, Vex saw fear there. Real fear. We pray they stay peaceful. The words hung in the air like smoke. Vex walked back to the window. Earth was too far to see, but he knew it was out there. Spinning. Waiting. Pretending to sleep while 8 billion clever, adaptable, absolutely insane primates went about their lives, completely unaware that the entire galaxy was terrified of them. Or maybe they knew. Maybe they had always known. The Velcorn message echoed in his mind. Earth does not conquer. Earth infects. Lieutenant Cora, he said quietly into his comm, send a priority message to the Council. Recommend we classify Earth as a level 10 cultural hazard. No contact protocols. Permanent quarantine. Sir, the Council will ask why. Tell them the truth. Tell them that 43 civilizations tried to deal with humans, and 43 civilizations are now extinct. Tell them that we are probably already infected, but maybe, just maybe, if we stay very quiet and very still, they will not notice us. And if they do notice us? Vex thought about that. About human history, human tenacity, human spite. He thought about a species that looked at impossible odds and responded not with surrender, but with we will see about that. Then we hope they like us, Lieutenant. We really, really hope they like us. He ended the transmission and stood alone in the observation deck, watching the stars, wondering which one was humanity's future. Wondering if it was already too late for the rest of them. Somewhere on Earth, someone was probably writing a story about aliens making first contact. Probably making it funny. Probably making the aliens look foolish. And in 1,000 years, some species would read that story and laugh, never realizing they were learning exactly how humans thought, exactly how humans fought, exactly how humans won. The archive vault had warned them 43 times. Nobody had listened. Vex had a feeling that in a few centuries, there would be 44 warnings carved into that wall. Maybe 45. And Earth would still be sleeping. Still pretending. Still waiting for the galaxy to figure out what every extinct species had learned too late. You do not wake Earth. Earth wakes you. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.